Hey everyone, it's Pencil, and today we're going to talk about how to construct a basic game plan for your character, no matter who it is. Today we're going to go over two examples. I'm going to use Paul and Claudio, but if it helps anyone to go over a more complex character, I can always record another version of this video with, say, Yoshimitsu or something. The concepts should apply to everyone in the game. Basically, we're going to break down a character to 7 to 12, let's say 7 to 12 moves that you really just need to use to mount a basic offense and play this game, play Tekken, right? Because I think a lot of players, they see the move list and it's long and extensive and they get locked into this mindset where they need to use everything. Like, oh, well, I'm not playing the full capacity of my character if I don't use all of their tools, and that's not true. Like, you can make the most of a character using very little. This list that I've put together has several moves on it, and their recommendations and what I think every basic game plan can be boiled down to. So you have your jab, because it's +1 on block and you can mount some basic pressure with it. JDCR has a really great video on this. You have wall standing 4, which is an 11 frame mid. You can use it after your forced crouch. You can use it if your character has a crouch dash. You can crouch dash into a wall standing 4. That being an 11 frame mid, you can kind of control space with it pretty well. We have 2 to 4 fast mids. So, you know, for Paul, as you can see in this video, or Claudio, I've got their fast mids showing. Down 1 or down forward 1. You have fast low pokes, like sidestep 3 with Paul, or down 3 with Claudio. These are generally just very small amounts of damage, but they're either they high crush, they have some evasion, or, you know, you need something to tag your opponent's shins with to keep them having to maybe crouch, right? You're trying to vary the levels at which your offense is taking place. You have a few approach tools, moves that advance your character. And you want those to be relatively safe to go for. And by that, I mean every move, every attack in this game is going to have inherent risk, right? If your opponent forces you to miss your attack, you could be punished for it. But these moves, when they're blocked, they either push your opponent back, or they leave you at advantage, or they leave you at not a very significant disadvantage. They're very safe to go for. One homing move, it helps if it's 18 frames or faster, but you know, slower moves work too. Especially if they do something nice on counter hit, that's always helpful, but it's not necessary. And then we want to have a whiff punish tool that's slow and damaging, so we can practice whiff punishing with something that's going to hurt. And we want a whiff punish tool that's fast and easy for those small whiffs that you feel like you barely have any time to react to, that you can make sure you're clipping them or attempting to clip them with something. And then some throws. Even at the highest level, people miss throw breaks. It's something that requires a lot of time to master, and it's just muscle memory. It's just getting in and practicing, like looking at the hands and breaking. But they're still good to have. There's not a lot of risk going for them. Yes, you can be ducked. Yes, you can be launched if you're predictable. But, you know, throws, especially if your character is a throw game, are good to go for sparingly. I want to emphasize that word, sparingly. They're good, but you shouldn't use them, like, you shouldn't have to rely on them for your offense to work correctly, all right? But with just this, it's enough to mount a basic game plan and to play offense in Tekken 7. Now, I also want to highlight this concept I keep saying, basic game plan. Basic game plan is something you can take into any matchup in this game. Whether you're against Zafina or someone as simple as Paul, like game plan-wise, or a Mishima, you know, each character has a different way you want to approach them and handle the matchup, and different moves that you're looking out for to try to space or whiff punish. But at the end of the day, having something simple and straightforward like this, like these basic 7 to 12 moves to lean back on, is going to help you play defense better, because you've already got what you're doing figured out. And it doesn't matter if it's simple, because you can just vary the timings, you can stagger which moves you're using at what times, you can look for optimal spacing to place these moves, and you're going to know your ranges really well because you're only focusing on several moves instead of focusing on your entire move list. So you're going to have mastered the spacing and where these moves really shine more than using the entire moveset. And a lot of the time, you know, if you're using the entire moveset, it's kind of a watered down game plan anyway. It's not really sure what it wants to accomplish, if that makes sense, right? So hopefully this helps constructing a simple game plan, a straightforward game plan, and getting you into games and just playing and understanding your ranges. It's important to note that this is not a must, all right? This isn't the ultimate recipe to being a god at Tekken, but this is a great starting point, and you can add flavors as you will, right? If your moveset is a soup, you can pick out different ingredients to use in your game plan against your opponent. I think being able to construct a simple game plan is important for beginner and intermediate players, and even players that have been playing for years may want to pick up a new character. And having the ability to construct a very simple game plan with a small move pool is going to help you learn that character faster. You're going to get used to their ranges faster. You're going to get used to where you feel strong with the character, and like, you know, maybe my fast mid is 13 frames and it's +4 on hit, and I know that so well, and I've done it so much that I know what kind of follow-ups I like to go for after that attack, right? So there's like little nuances that you're going to pick up on by using the same moves a lot. And no one really inherently starts with a lot of experience in matchups, so defaulting to something more straightforward is really good for learning those matchups, because I don't want to try seeing how 200 of my moves interact with my opponent's 200 moves. I would much rather see how my 7 to 12 moves interact with their many moves that they're choosing to use, right? So it makes matchups a little easier to get your head around, and you'll see improvement a lot faster, and then you can start sprinkling in those other moves to flesh out your game plan more in time. All right? So please try this if you haven't, or if you're past this point, that's okay. We're all here to learn. We're all here to be better players. So thank you so much for watching and tuning in, and I'll see you all next time.